Good morning, Jim here, Starlette here, Mo here. Just wanted to put this video together for you so that you can see how we do things with obedience. Basically the do's and don'ts of dealing with Starlette in obedience. The proper consequence, the proper voice, the proper hand signals, everything. So without further ado, we're going to get started. The very first thing I'm going to do is the let's go command. Listen to my tone. Let's go, Starlette. Atta girl. As soon as she starts to do what we ask, we pray. Atta girl. Where we go, she goes. Loose leash. We never want it tight, okay? Real loose. And we don't want her out in front of us. In the beginning, we don't want her out in front of us. Why? Because when she first comes home, I need to get you to be established as her leader, okay? Very important. After you become her leader, if you don't mind her walking in front, I don't mind. One of the things when we've been working together, you notice how she hadn't been smelling the ground? As soon as I say that, with the rain that we've had, she may start, you're going to see what I do. But we don't want her smelling the ground either. Let's go. Good girl. Turn. Sit. Hand signal for sit. Sit means sit. If she did not sit just then, I would tap the leash and go, sit. Tap it. We're not here to hurt her. You know that by now. All we want to do is get her attention and go from there. Sit. No. We tap no. Sit. Good girl. Sit. She has to hold it until we release it. You know, we don't have to say stay. We just tell her to sit, and she sits. Down. Hand signal from in front for down. If she did not down, good girl, I would have tapped the leash, no, down. Again, just like within the sit, she has to hold that until we release her. Tap towards the ground. When she does what we ask her, we praise. When she doesn't do what we ask, we provide the consequence if necessary, the no, the bite if we need the bite, and then we follow that action with praise, like praise. Not as much praise as if she did it the first time correctly, but we want her to know this is what we wanted. Come. Good girl. The come command as we've worked is to come and sit with us in front. Pray. That is the one command that I would use treats an awfully lot on in the beginning, especially off leash. You remember. Come. About got distracted. Pray. Break is the release. With Mo walking by, but she recovered pretty well. If she hadn't, I'd have tapped the leash towards me. When we talked about the sit would be tapping up, we talked about the DOWN, which would be towards the ground. Our movement commands, the come, the let's go, the heel, when we need to tap, it's in the direction. I tell people parallel to the ground. It's not exactly parallel, but in the direction we want her to go. Sit. Good girl. Okay? That's a good girl. Let's go. Down. That is the down signal from the side. Very good. She holds it. Now one other thing. Sit. Good girl. Right. Any of those I could give her a treat if I wanted to. The thing that I wouldn't do is give her a treat and be leading her on with the treat, except for the come command, through obedience. She has to obey because we tell her to. She has to obey because we're the leader. We become the leader by becoming more engaging than other things in our life, by loving her, by praising her, and by demanding she do what we ask when we ask it. When we lead, she's going to want to follow us. Okay, we have cats all around, at least 3 cats around us right now. Good girl. So when she watches and looks at you, praise her. I've got a treat in my hand. I don't think she knows it because she's looking at my face. But one of the things I could use with a treat, atta girl, way to go. Right, that's just to encourage her to look at me, okay? It's not a big deal. Anything we can help to motivate with what's going on. So we've got, let's go. Atta girl. Sit. Down. Atta girl. Good girl. Let's go. Now we're going to do the PLACE command. Watch my hand. The place command, she can lay down, sit down, stand up, read a book. I don't care what she does as long as she stays on her bed. She cannot chew her bed. If she started chewing the bed, we would bite that. We would provide a consequence. Bite her, no, and then praise when she stops. And then we would praise her while she's being good. But she has to stay on that bed. She can't get off and wander off. If she did that, we would get the leash, because in the beginning we have to have the leash on her so that she can't run away, get up under a piece of furniture, and avoid us when we ask her to do something. And we would tap back in that movement command. You remember, parallel to the ground. No, 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 place. Good girl. We do not tap the leash to hurt or dominate or intimidate. We do not want her afraid of us. We just want her to know that we're the leader. I guarantee, and I think you've seen it, you know, we bite much less than what she would with another dog. All we're trying to do is be able to communicate to her in the second what we want. Watching football, watching television, reading a book, sitting at dinner, having guests over, this is a perfect command. She can do this for a couple hours at a time. If you want to give her one of our elk antlers that you've been using, have at it. But you do want to be able to supervise her with the antler or any chew toy, quite honestly. Break. Break is the release command. Now, when I said break, if she didn't get up off the bed, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? Break means she's released. She can do anything she wants as long as it's not a behavior thing that we don't like or pull on the leash. When we meet someone on our walks, we stop. We don't have to put her in a sit. We don't have to put her in a down. But what we do want is a loose leash, okay? So she doesn't pull to go jump and meet on someone. And when she's being good, by all means, praise her. Praise her for those down moments. You remember what I told you? We praise at least 20 times more than we ever bite, okay? Let her see when people come over and she's not jumping, praise that. If she is jumping, you know she's not going to meet those people until she calms down, then we praise that calm meeting, okay? It takes a lot of work, especially for a dog this happy, this excited when meeting others, but you have to be patient and calm. Reward the exact things you like. Correct, avoid. You remember what I mean by avoid? Walking her away from a situation when she starts getting too far out of control. As happy as she is, if we reward her one time with meeting someone in a very excited state, that may be enough for her to test us 10 or 15 times. We have to start removing that excitement from meeting someone. It's a natural behavior. She doesn't do that for any reason to perturb us. She does it because that's what her personality and temperament is. She does it because we've allowed her to do it in her short life, and it's fun, and she's been rewarded for jumping up on people, okay? So we meet someone, when they come in, it's a nice short leash, okay? It's no jumping. If she jumps, we provide a consequence, and we remove ourselves from the situation if need be. We put her in a place, and she doesn't get to meet those people until she calms down. She's not entitled to meet. They're not. The people are not entitled to meet until you say so. It's so important. And you're going to say so when she's behaving the way she needs to be behaving. Okay? So, that's good? Good. Good girl. Hand signals are good. It helps to teach that focus. When I gave her the treat a while ago, why? Because she was watching to see what I would do next. Good. I know you allow her on the furniture at times. I have no problems with that. You know, the thing about my training is to get you where you want her. I'm trying to train you to become the leader, right? So she can be the dog you want in your life. Normally, I don't allow a dog carte blanche to jump on furniture. If that's what you want, that's fine. As long as you lead her, it doesn't matter. But typically what I do is I teach them to jump. Huh. Atta girl. Now, I'm sitting in my chair. She's at my feet. She might want to jump. Nah, don't smell. Nah. Good girl. She might want to get up. I'm not going to allow her to get up until I give that huff command. Right. Good girl. Good. When I see she's not looking, you notice I do a little change in direction. That's a good girl. Good girl. Sit. Now, the last command, before the last command, we have the stay command. The stay, you notice I did down. You notice I did sit without stay. Quite honestly, she's supposed to down or sit without getting up until I release. Stay is a command for us people. She doesn't need it. Okay? I'll use stay, and that's an open hand in front of her when I want her to pack her bags and be there for a while. Normally that's in a down position, okay? Because I don't like to put a dog in a sit stay because I worry about the comfort level for them. When they're laying down, they're fine. So I'll do down, stay. Typically, in the beginning, for the first month, I would try to do a down stay every day or every other day for 10 to 15 minutes with her. But when she's in that down stay, she can chew, she can roll on her side, she can go to sleep. As long as she stays there, I am happy. By doing that down stay, you are showing her that you have what it takes to lead. Most dogs typically are the most resistant to down. So when we can get them to down for us, they're being submissive to our wants and desires, as long as we're not intimidating and dominating, and they're following us and learning to follow us as the leader, okay? The next thing is the heel command. The heel command is not something you would use all the time, quite honestly, because that would keep too much concentration on your part and on her part. But what it is when you're in a crowded situation, when you need her right here by your side, you can do the heel. The heel is basically keeping her in a little box, a rectangular box by our side. When we're walking, she stays right there. Our goal is to keep her right there. When we stop, she sits, okay? And hand signal is like this. So here, oh, and the stay, hand signal is like that. Heel. Good girl. See how she's watching? Stop, in the box. Now, she stopped and sat. Notice she's still in the sit command when I step off. Good girl. All right, that's it. So that, break. Did you see her pop up? Quite honestly, that is not something we want. When she does something like that, we make a note of it, especially if we don't catch it in that moment, because she's going to do it again and again. And if she's really got a strong personality temperament, she's going to start taking that and going further and further and further with it, taking more and more advantage. So if you don't want it to happen, you got to be ready to bite it in that moment. Seem very innocent, but that can be the first step to undermining our leadership. So we're back here, heel, stop. Good girl, that's a good girl. Notice how she's looking? Now I'm gonna go right back and see if she gets up when I go by her side. Good girl, break. When she does something wrong, or when we're learning and teaching her the new things that need to be done, when she messes up, I would recommend that you come back and try to repeat that 2 or 3 times in a row where she gets it right. You praise her, you love her for doing it right. You don't get her so excited that she breaks the command, but you make sure you let her know how pleased you are, okay? Every training session that you do, you should always finish on a good and positive note. It's so important. Basically, that's where we're at. You have to start working this. You have to start making this happen. And then 30, 60, 90 days, you can start moving into the real life training aspects, where you might allow a couple of things that don't have to, or you don't want to be so rigid, to be that rigid. You just define them and make sure you're very consistent with her, okay? Consequence is important. It's the way dogs speak to each other. Praise is important. It's the way dogs communicate with each other. It's very important. Dogs will love it. Make sure that when she does what you want, you praise her and love her. Last thing on the come command, you notice we did the come command on leash, off leash. For the next 100 times, try to set her up, but when she's out running around, get her attention. Don't give her the COME command. Make a little move, and if she starts to come to you, and I didn't like the way she was doing that, but I didn't give the come command, but when you see she's committed to coming to you, that's when you give that come command. And make sure when she gets to you that you pay her off with a lot of love and maybe some real good treats. Not some old boring treat, something to die for. You know, if you need me, you pick up the phone, you give me a call, 336-945-3232. I thank you so much. You know I'm on Facebook. She's going to be on Facebook in the next few days or a week, depending on how much time I get. I've been so busy here lately. and you can see her and see all the other good dogs. Take care. Bye-bye. Great. Good girl.